So the success for this year, the ingredient that I want us to take with us that will absolutely transform not just students, but families. Not just families, but schools. There's one ingredient that is missing: love. And I'm not talking about the romantic type, because love can command you and it can hold you accountable. Our children are sorely missing love. Many of our teachers are missing love. Some of you are missing love. And it's the thing that I believe creates the problems that we see. And love, in a more simplified way, is just giving time to understand what a person's needs are and trying to do your best to support them in their needs. Listening, caring, showing concern and empathy. Because that's what young people respond to. I don't care how old they are. You ever notice a baby that hasn't even developed language, George, but they know when something's wrong with you. You know, they say you watch people that babies and animals don't like. Something's wrong with them. They got this thing where, but the thing about them is, you know what they understand? They understand tone. They don't have to say, you don't have to say, they don't have to understand what you're saying, but they understand the tone. So tone matters. If I say to a baby, "What do you want?" Baby doesn't understand what I'm saying, but they hear that tone and they start smiling like, "What do you want? What do you want?" They shrink because they're responding to the tone. So you could be saying all the right things as a counselor, but your tone could be saying something else. And guess what? Where our children come from, they pay attention to tone. They're listening to not what you say, they're listening to how you say it. And this is why we have that saying, "I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care." And we have to be mindful of the young people who we are not paying attention to, because they will make us pay attention to them by what they do. So there's an African proverb that says, "A neglected child will burn down the village just to feel its warmth." Think about that. So we must pay attention. We must show them love, and it's love that is transformational. And this is why our students, some, join gangs. You ask most of them, "Why did you join?" They show me love. All the things of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, they can find in a gang except self-actualization, because the very behavior is self-destructive. But self-esteem, group affiliation, security, basic needs. So we should be making sure that schools provide that spirit of love, security, basic needs, affiliation, group affiliation. I had a school, I was talking to Kevin, and I was telling him about my school, the 109. We had a song that we created. It was called "Time to Shine at 109." Right? And I came into this school. This school was low morale of the teachers. Horrible test scores. Students checked out. Absentee rate high. Teachers checked out. Their absentee rate was high. Nobody in the community wanted to go to the school. They didn't want their children there. So I created a song, and this is how I got the name, The Nation's Hip Hop Principle. This is over 20 years ago, called "The Time Is Now." It's time to shine at 109. And I would sing the song. It's on YouTube, you can check it out. You know, so that little plug. But I would say, what time is it? And the students would say, the time is now. It's time to shine at 109. And it did two things. One, it created a sense of urgency, but it also created a sense of identity. We're the school where the time is now. Group affiliation. We were saying it's time to shine. Self-esteem. And then we used that because time stood for teaching, innovation, motivation, and excellence. And we used that to evaluate and judge what we did as a school community. The results was within a 2-year period, it went from the lowest performing school in the district to #1 in reading and math. The most sought after middle school in the Jamaica Queens area. And the students went on to go into the Tribeca Film Festival for producing these films. And we went on Oprah, and HBO used this as a national model, all with an idea of trying to restore a community that had been beat down. Thank you. So I want to say that you, counselors, y'all play a critical role. And I want to get you excited about this year. Because now the world is paying attention to counselors, more so than ever before. But even before the pandemic, we started hearing about restorative practices and, building core values within the school community. You play a critical role. Your job, if you want to reimagine it, it's not just to be in an office or a cubicle or holding small groups. You should be integrated into the staff. You should be saying to the principal, I'd like to come by and, be a part of your instructional team meetings and bring forth a different lens. You should be talking to teachers about their stress. And you should also be practicing self-care for yourself. Because for those who give so much, you got to go someplace to be replenished yourself. And whether that is support from colleagues or whatever you do within the context of life, going for a walk, going to the gym, whatever it is, you have to make that time for yourself. Because burnout is real. But the world is recognizing you now. And they're beginning to see how important you are. So you can help reimagine schools and how they build positive relationships between staff, students, and I think that will most definitely lead to positive social, emotional, academic outcomes. But lastly, I believe that the counselor is really the liaison between the administration, the staff, the community, and the students. You sit in all those places. You don't rule from authority. You rule from influence. Your influence is power within itself. So there is transformational power that you hold that you can bring back to the schools this year. Because we were talking earlier, we kind of have a sense that schools are going to be open this year. We know it's not going to be like the start-stop of the past. So now it's an opportunity for you to get in there and help lead this reimagination, help recreate and rejuvenate the minds of the adults and the children in that building. And I just want you to understand that I know how important you are, how powerful you are. And I believe, like I said, my first 4 words, you can do it. Thank you so much.